Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late November 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cappies. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me about Capricorn as we move into late November. It is almost Sagittarius season, which means Capricorn season is not too far around the corner. But yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Capricorn. Been a couple of good readings in the last few weeks, so we're going to hope to continue it. We'll see, though. You know, so many different things could pop up. Okay, good creativity here. This is one of my favorite cards of this deck. That lady has a really awesome haircut. The sewing machine, the golden thread. There's a lot of beautiful, good, promising symbolism right here up in the front. So before we really break into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this lady with the awesome hairdo. So if you look at this symbolism here, she's in front of a sewing machine. She has that golden thread. There's a rainbow, so there's a lot of goodness here. First and foremost, that this could be a very creative type of energy, doing anything with your hands or creating something from imagination. That's implied here in a very big way. So for a lot of Capricorns, any creative pursuit is highly favored here, whether it's for your own well-being, whether it's for business purposes, keeping your hands busy and making something, literally. Now, this card does remind me of the Eight of Pentacles in a way. It's very hardworking and diligent. So you might just be in that mind state about something like, okay, I'm going to get this done, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to make sure it happens. So maybe that's the spirit you need, energy you need to step into. There's a lot of good things with this card. Very diligent and hardworking. But the golden thread and the rainbow, it does speak of creativity. So now is a great time for any Capricorn to really let those creative juices flow. And it doesn't just mean like doing tailor work or on a sewing machine. It could be art, it could be writing, it could be music, whatever that gets your juices going. So we're just going to put that over there. We're going to get into tarot now. And I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's see what we have for you this week. We'll get you 3 in the upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. And one more thing about that card. When there's a lot of creative juices flowing, I always like to say that you might have a lot going on internally. So if that fits the bill for you, you might need a release. But let's talk about last week's reading while we get this deck ready for you. It was titled A Massive Blessing, and 2 of the last 3 weeks there's been positive energies moving towards the Capricorn collective, so I really hope it's been coming your way. Now, if a big or massive blessing hasn't come into your life, those energies could still bleed over into the next week or so, so that's a good thing. It was very optimistic, so we'll see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take it how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. So let's get it going here. 3 cards from my Cappies, please, to start us off. Okay, yeah, ask and you shall receive. And the good energy might be continuing here. Very powerful judgment right here in the front end. Action starting with a bang. Starting with a boom, literally. And it came out with, pardon me, the 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. Beautiful. All right, let's not get too ahead of ourselves so far. Been seeing a lot more positive readings for a lot of the zodiac this week, so I'm feeling optimistic here. That person is very pleased about something with the 9 of Cups. Okay, we have the World here. Lots of karmic, powerful energy here with Judgment and the World in main part position. So let's just get that right there, and let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into the juicy, intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, there is a lot happening here. Both of these cards on the ends, we have Judgment, we have the World, very angelic, extremely powerful. Both of them have karmic archetypes, and they're possibly life-altering types of energies here. One could be about a beginning, that could be about an end, but we have this beautiful water energy, which is internal. It's also creative. And that person feels pleased here. So there's a lot of power, but it might be skewing towards the positive. Let's go through one by one and really start to break it down. So position number one, we have Judgment. As you see, there's Archangel Gabriel on there blowing the trumpet. For some of you, you might literally be making a judgment, okay? Whether it's about a person, a situation, whatever it might be. This could be literal judgments happening here. When I see this card, it's about action, it's about change, it's about metamorphosis. So something's coming in hot and heavy when this card is here. Think of Plutonian energy. So it's all about metamorphosis and change. Same could be said with the World card on the back end as well. So they have a lot of similarities, and they're both karmic in nature. So I really want to dive deeper on them. They're very powerful. Judgment, yeah, aside from the judgments and the action and the change, to me, it is just very fast forward movement, and it is explosive in nature. So we're really going to want to see what's up with that. Another thing that could pop up with Judgment, and same could be said with the World, it could talk about cycles or things coming back. So for some of you Capricorns out there, there might be a person, there might be a situation that you've already been through that could cycle back around. That could be said when karmic energy shows up. So do with that what you will. But moving to the center, we have the Nine of Cups, one of the best cards in the deck, if you ask me. We have our good friend John Travolta chilling out right here. All happy with those full cups. This is emotional fulfillment, so something making you happy. So just like we've been seeing in recent weeks, this is a card of blessings. It's a card of wins and victories. So whatever this change and action and all these cycles and karmic energies could very possibly be a good thing. The Nine of Cups is welcoming, it's warm, so it's inviting. So whether that's how you're feeling, maybe you're a little softer around the edges. Maybe you're being very welcoming to someone. Now, I always say all cards have a positive and a challenge. A challenge of the Nine of Cups is when someone could be a little too nice or a little too giving. So in this time, I mean, I'm not going to say don't be too nice or don't be too giving. Just don't let it get out of hand. Don't let people use you for things when this card shows up. I'll just leave it at that. That doesn't have to be the case for everyone, okay? But maybe there have been times in the past where you feel like you've been too nice or you gave someone the benefit of the doubt too much, and that energy could be it. But wish fulfillment, happiness, wins, victories are all the name of the game. Moving to the very, very back end here, we have the World. Once again, this is angelic. So when we have Judgment, when we have the World, all this angelic energy, it's very protective. So you might just need to hear and know that you are protected, you are loved, you're being guided. Now, the World is one of the more complex cards in the whole entire tarot deck. It is the last of the major arcana, so naturally this could represent an end, okay? It could represent a closeout, an ending, a solution, possibly. And it does talk about the karmic cycles of life, or cycles in general. Same could be said for Judgment, so we're really going to want to keep an eye on the karmic energy. Aside from the endings, I always say this isn't a final ending or a finality. When this card ends, a new one begins. So from the World, the Fool starts its journey once again. So we do have that interesting little cycle here. Another thing with the World, aside from the angelic energies, the karma, the cycles, and all the things I'm already talking about, in my style of reading, my personal interpretation, I link this to world events as well. So for some Capricorns out there, you might be paying extra close attention to what's happening in the world. Maybe world events are affecting you in one way or another, whether it's personally or emotionally. So that's just something to watch out for. Oftentimes I do say there might be someone in your life that's putting too much energy into world events, and they might need to take a breather so they don't get wound up. But aside from that, like, there's a lot of interesting archetypes to look at. I want to dive deeper. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for Capricorn, see what's happening, my guides and spirit team. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. It's going on Judgment there. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cappy, you drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, let's get it going here. What's happening with Judgment? What's this possible action and change? Thank you. Two of Pentacles. Something good's coming at you. something good is coming in. We have the Two of Pentacles. That's a very harmonious, balanced type of card. If you do have a decision to make or a choice to make in this time, or if you have to pick a path or decide on something, this tells me that you're going to make the right decision. The Two of Pentacles is a card of balance. As with all twos, it can represent partnerships, being at a crossroads in life, but this is extremely harmonious. Another thing I do have to say, it does have the infinity symbol on it. Out of the 4 cards we have out already, there's so much karmic energy afoot. Okay, so whether you're going through karmic changes, karmic shifts, that could be all over the place, but you could be shifting into a more positive paradigm here. If we're looking at change, aside from the decisions and change, these are changes for the better. Even if it doesn't feel like it right now, even if it, like whatever you're going through is a little rough and tough, Spirit is saying like, hey, this stability, this balance is coming in, for lack of a better word. So I do really like this energy, and something's coming at you. When we have Judgment, aside from the change, the karmic, all the stuff I already spoke about, this is action and movement moving towards you. With the Two of Pentacles, this is the type of energy we want to claim. This is the type of energy we do want coming towards us. So like I said, the last couple of weeks, the energy's been moving good. It's been moving towards Capricorn in a positive way. That can continue here. Okay, so I don't feel like we need to overcomplicate it. I feel like this is more of an energetic forecast. And we'll take it, right? We'll take rain. I mean, we'll take sunshine as opposed to rain. Let's see what's up. Sometimes we'll take rain, right? It's good for the nature. Let's see what's happening with the Nine of Cups. Why is that Nine of Cups here? I really want to get over to the World as well, especially because it could be an end of some sort, but it's at the end of the spread. Because remember, when we have things like Judgment and the World, big picture thinking, it's not just the next couple of days. There could be things that have a bigger effect on your whole journey. So let's see what's happening with the Nine of Cups. So far, we're looking good. Whatever changes, whatever big changes, could be for the better. All right, we have the something good is coming in. Multiple things. We have the Two of Swords in the upright. Now, this could sometimes represent confusion, indecision, but that's one of my big cards of mystery, Capricorn. I'm getting a surprising or an unexpected win right here in the center. So if we're looking at good things, if we're looking at things going your way, there's multiple here. It's like, all right, the energy shoots off and it's moving towards you. Then boom, there's that satisfied, like, oh, I didn't see that coming. So I would say for a lot of Capricorn, situations could really spin your way, whether you're going through financial things, interpersonal things, familial things. You're going to be satisfied in the end here. That's just the energy I'm picking up. Now, the Two of Swords, aside from the confusion, it's kind of the opposite of this Two of Pentacles right here. The repeating numbers are showing up heavy. The karmic energies are showing up heavy. Okay, so aside from the karmic shifts, the karmic changes, these wins might be set in stone, even if you don't see them coming. So I would say for a lot of Capricorns, there's unexpected or surprising wins here, for sure, with this alignment here in the center. Okay? Now, if there is something going on around you that you don't quite see or you don't quite have all the answers, it might be better off that way. That's a little intuitive message for some of you. Like, yeah, you don't need to know every single little thing that's going on, and that's fine. Like, there's a focus on the self here. So Spirit might be asking a lot of Capricorns to take your energy back in some sort of way, and it feels good. But once again, the surprising or unexpected wins is showing up heavily here. Double, you know, the 2-2s, we got the double energy. Let's see what's happening with the World. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card for you. I'm liking what I'm seeing here, Capricorn. All of this is claimable energy, in my opinion. Okay, so what's happening here? Another thing, and it's nagging at me, like with the Nine of Cups, Two of Swords in the upright. You ever hear the term ignorance is bliss? And take that for what it's worth. Maybe for some of you, you need to hear that. Okay, but let's go in on that World card. Like, what they don't know won't hurt them. But once again, I'm going to take the more optimistic approach here. Let's see why the World is in the mix. Okay, yeah, Page of Pentacles, one of your cards. This is good. Okay. So there might be certain cycles closing out, and I don't see it really affecting you in a terrible way, to be honest. We have the Page of Pentacles, which is one of the cards that could represent you. It's one of my favorite cards. It's very studious, it's very creative, and it could be about talking. So I do feel there is somebody here like really attached to news or world events. Like I was saying in the beginning, it's showing up here heavily just because look at the page, it's inspecting that pentacle. We got the World. So, I mean, it's good to be knowledgeable about what's going on in the world today, but try your best not to let it really drive you up a wall here, because I could see a lot of Capricorns or the people around them being highly affected by world events in whatever shape or form. Now, aside from that, this is a communicator, so it could be somebody delivering the news like, hey, all right, well, time for this is up, or the time for this is ending, or whatever change is coming in. It doesn't necessarily feel bad to me. So if you are going through endings, if cycles are closing, it doesn't necessarily feel bad to me, okay? Like, for every new beginning, you need an end, okay? But we're getting some interesting things, but I'm not getting red flags and sirens here, Capricorn. I feel like a lot of this is beautiful energy, and you might be getting ready to start a new journey, a new cycle of life. That's a big thing on the back end as well. Let's go through and do a quick recap, because I feel for the most part, a lot of this is very claimable energy, my friends. But let's go through before the shadow. Position number 1, we have Judgment with the 2 of Pentacles. This balanced, harmonious energy is coming towards you. Now, yes, we do have a lot of karmic archetypes and energies. Could be changes, karmic changes, or really big ones you're going through in life, and it makes sense. There's like big paradigm changes and shifts happening for a lot of you. Watch for the repeating numbers, signs, synchronicities, because we have double 2s here. But in the center, we have the 9 of Cups with the 2 of Swords in the upright. Straight up, the first and foremost thing I said there is a lot of you could be having unexpected or surprising wins here. Ones that are just popping up out of nowhere, and you're going to be very much satisfied by this. I was getting that little sub message about like, all right, you need to focus on yourself, pull your energy back. You might be better off not knowing about certain things, which I know that might sound a little concerning, but it doesn't feel that way to me. It's like you need to focus on yourself within. On the back end, we have the World with the Page of Pentacles, and I do see this big attraction or focus on what's happening in the world today. And it makes sense to me, whether that's you or someone you're connected to. I do still get those changes, those karmic changes and shifts happening here, but I don't feel it affecting you in a bad way. It might be you getting ready to start a new journey or cycle in your life, and it does not feel bad, even if you're going through endings. So please take a screenshot of that if you want to look into it further. Let's get you a shadow card here, Capricorn. Interesting reading, powerful reading as well. So let's see what's in the shadows for you, Capri. What's going on, my gods? What do we have in the shadows for my friends? And yes, I always like to pull this at the very end just to see whether it's something within you, whether it's something you don't quite see. Doesn't always have to be a challenge. It could be a good thing sometimes. So let's see what's in the shadows for Capricorn. Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it down in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel and my mission. So there's a bunch of tiers to choose from. Obviously, no pressure. But let's see what's happening. What is in the shadows? Thank you. Okay, King of Wands. So something about focus, and we did see it here in the middle part of the spread, like bringing the focus back on oneself. Now, the King of Wands could represent a fire sign you're connected to, or you might have history with. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If that's not the case, the King of Wands is entrepreneurial. It's a boss type of energy and is in full control of their passions and their energy and where they direct it. So there is, once again, a big focus even showing up in the shadows about how you spend your energy and where you focus it. Hopefully you're not going through a time where you're feeling a little zapped energetically. That could be the case sometimes when this is in the shadows. This card could also tell you that you might need to get out and have a little bit of fun when this guy's here, okay? Because the King of Wands could also be a little bit of a party animal. So whether it's just being social or cutting loose a little bit, but there is that focus on the self that you might want to take with you through the coming days and weeks. So Capricorn, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the November subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the October subscriber surprise, the winners will be in the community tab after this week's fire and air readings. But for November, we're bringing back winner's choice. 2 lucky subscribers will get to pick a deck of their choosing up to $40 US. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the zodiac signs, which one do you think is the most fun? Which one do you have the most fun with? And yeah, after that, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of November, I'll pick the winners at random as usual. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.